Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Ignore the big purple cover there. It's Agatha Harkness trying to come in. No, actually, I was relaxing. I was playing some video games today, and it was like really freaking bright outside, so I had to put up a dark thing to not the screen. It was really hard to see. Anyway, what's going on, y'all? I got a couple of notes to talk about. Let's see. So, the finale of WandaVision. Some people are going to say, this wasn't really the greatest freaking episode that I've ever seen. I mean, all the other ones were, and I was so disappointed with the leftover thing. And I'm going to tell you exactly why that happened, because this is the first time that Marvel's really done a television show. You know what I'm saying? Like an MCU television show. And there's a lot of people who don't understand so much about that, right? The Daredevil series is not in the MCU. It is not. It never was. It's not. Feige already talked about that. This is the behind the scenes stuff, So like, it was like, it's not the MCU. All right, it's part of the multiverse. So, and that's with so much other. There's so many people just saying this stuff, and it's like, no, guys, you're really not getting the full experience of what's out there. On top of that, when the MCU specifically does a movie, you talk about it, you make your speculations, talk about it, and then you go and you see the movie, and then it finishes, the whole thing is finished, and then you leave and you start talking about it again. In fact, you're usually talking about it before you even leave. You know what I'm saying? You're talking about in between the end credits. Yes, there were end credits here. After credit scenes. Anyway, it's like this this isn't a movie. So when you go in and watch one episode, and then it's like you're talking before you watch the episode and you speculate, then you watch the next episode and you speculate, right? Yeah. the, can, did anybody see Mephisto? Was there any Mephisto here? There was no Mephisto, right? Even me saying at best there's going to be a nightmare, and there was no nightmare. Paul Bettany not realizing the sycophancy of some people out there when he's just like, it's going to be a really great surprise ending. What happens at the end of episode 8, right? It's going to be an interesting guest appearance. We saw that the guest appearance was just him. That's all it was. It was him. It was the white version of Vision. So it's like two visions, one and the other one, you're ready to fight, right? Like Red Tornado from the Supergirl thing, except all white. Um, if this episode didn't blow people's minds or wasn't like super satisfying, it's because the buildup inside of individuals' minds was just too much. Look, we're going to have a week free next week where we're just going to get or we're going to get like a thing where it's like the making of WandaVision, right? We're going to get the making of WandaVision, and that's going to be fun to go and check out. And then the following week, so not this Friday, but next Friday, the first episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier. Can we all not assume that Mephisto is going to show up at some point during the series? Can we try to just enjoy the show as it comes out? There's speculation stuff like I get it, I understand, but like we're really killing the show for ourselves. And I'm like I said, the stuff with Nightmare with me, even I was like, it might happen, I don't know. But yeah, even with me a little bit. Anyway, so we start off this episode. I'm going to get to the questions at the end. I promise. I promise. Agatha Harkness. She was basically the Wicked Witch of the East in this. You saw when she got sent through the house with the car. If Wanda attacks her directly, she loses, she's like, ow, 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 and she gets hurt, right? She gets her life essence, her magic and her life essence absorbed, by Agatha. So she has to attack her indirectly by like throwing cars at her and stuff like that. So when when she gets hit and she gets sent through the house, She goes through and she looks under, and there's just the boots there, right? I'm surprised they weren't ruby quartz slippers like the Wizard of Oz. I thought that was cool. There's always the old TV shows, or in this case, movies that they keep on dredging up. I loved it. We had three main battles in here. Granted, there was the Jimmy Woo versus director. The heck is that dude's name? Hayward, right? That was a little bit of a something there. But what we really saw, and it was kind of weird. The one part where Jimmy Woo takes the phone. He's got the handcuffs. His hands are behind his back in handcuffs. And he goes and he picks up the phone and I guess a bobby pin also, whatever. But he definitely picks up the phone. And it's like the one guy that was guarding him is right back there. And he's just looking around like, I'm just a walk on here, man. I'm not going to look at you or look at your hands. Like he's right behind him. He just lets it happen. Like, come on, man. You don't see the dude trying to pick up the phone. Anyway, what happens here? Oh, and the thing with the flourish, he's able to get out. That was cool. All that stuff from Ant-Man, Ant-Man and the Wasp specifically. Oh, and he's saying to the one guy, "Hey, man, I think that the Quantico and all of the FBI guys, I think they're going to be here within the hour." And then when he does get out, he uses the phone. Hey, Cliff, think you can be here in the hour? That was kind of cool. I had to double check. Like, did he say Clint or Cliff? Because if it was Clint, that's an entirely different story. Where's the hawk? Up in his nest, just the way he likes it. I see better up there. Everybody remember that was from the original Thor movie? So we had the main three battles are Wanda versus Agatha, Vision versus Vision, and Monica versus Pietro. Now that was the weakest of them all. I was expecting to see a lot more, but granted, this isn't her show, so I understand. But her ability to use energy to make her body into energy, that's pretty interesting, right? Later on in the show, they're like pop, 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 shooting the bullets and whatnot, and they go through her, and it's like, yeah, I've got no more momentum. Boop, all the kinetic energy is gone, and they just fall down. It's just gravity takes over, right? So that's kind of cool, stuff like that. I enjoy seeing stuff like that. She has to learn how to use her powers. She'll probably learn how to use them in Captain Marvel 2, where she'll also be addressing her feelings towards Carol Danvers. Probably like, you abandoned me, you son of a gun. Anyway, the Darkhold. So it's acknowledged that this is definitely the Darkhold. She does that while she's in front of the squeaky clean Mother Earth billboard. Now, this could just be me reading into this because I'm a comic book nerd, but the Darkhold was created by Chthon. I'm not going to get into the whole history of it because I did that 1 or 2 episodes ago, right? But it's created by Chthon, one of the elder gods of the earth. And you know who another elder god is? A goddess, Gaia, Mother Earth. So that's actually interesting that she was talking about the Darkhold in front of a sign that was talking about Mother Earth. So that was actually kind of cool. To me, I don't know, Easter egg, don't care. I picked it up. Vision. When Vision versus Vision, when they started talking about the ship of Theseus, I thought that was great. This is kind of like one of the philosophical the philosophical conversations of science when you start talking about like not Descartes, he's another philosopher. I think therefore I am. What was it? Schrodinger's cat, right? When you start talking about Schrodinger's cat, if it's a sealed thing, the cat is dead inside and the cat is alive inside, both at the same time. This was an interesting thing. This is like the theory of you can't walk into the same river twice, right? Because the river's moving, or every 7 years your body completely sheds all of its old cells, so you're technically an entire person. So are you the same you that used to be 7 years ago? Yes, you are, and no, you're not at the same time, right? I love the philosophy, the deeper thoughts there. So when White Vision says, I am Vision, it's like, yeah, your Vision too, your Vision also, right? And he flies up and he does what he's got to do. Interesting. Curious to see what's going to happen with that, because don't forget to slip towards the end of the show. We're going to get to that in a hot minute. Wanda pulls her trick from Avengers 2 at one point. Avengers 2 Age of Ultron. Remember when she starts sneaking up behind some people? It's like, like that. Yeah. So she does that to Agatha in here. And that was a really great callback, too. It's like, I wonder what would happen if she would have done that to Thanos. I wonder. I wonder. Before he had the reality gem at the very least, the stone, excuse me, comic book guy. That was it. I like when she did that. It didn't quite work the way that she wanted to, but whatever. I saw it. I recognized it. I marked out just a little bit. Hey. A spell once cast can never be broken. So here's Agatha lying through her gorgeous teeth. Like, are you kidding me? She's like, I'll reverse the spell if you give me your magic, and everybody can be okay inside of here. And it's like, oh, sorry, I lied. A spell once cast can never be broken. Well, maybe. Maybe. Let's go back to Doctor Strange. No spells were technically cast by Dormammu. Dormammu is magic. Like, he's one of the embodiments of magic. He's a super beyond elemental being, right? Excuse me, like the energy persistent from the dark dimension. So the big question is, and there's no mindless ones in that dark dimension, very weak compared to the comic book version, but I digress. Dormammu didn't exactly cast a spell in order for the whole um Dormammu, I've come to bargain. Saying that was the spell, but that spell it could be turned off, but like, could it be reversed that all of that stuff didn't happen? I don't know. It's a question. I'm saying? It's a question, because that's not necessarily a spell. It's the time stone, or yeah, the time stone being used through magic, with magic. So okay, it's it's interesting to me at the very least, because the power gem is the power gem. The power stone is the power stone. Like, touch it, boom, everybody dies. Is that the same for everybody else? For all the other gems, or not? Who knows, right? But even if it is, Strange never had to actually touch it. He was able to use it with magic, and just like the others in there were able to do also, if they had that kind of power. I thought it was a great tactic, because I'm sitting there wondering, she's purposely missing a couple when Wanda and Agatha are getting down to the actual battle. It's the climactic boom blast with each other, right? She goes and she hits her with like one or two shots, and then she misses her, and it winds up hitting the wall. And it's like, she's doing that on purpose. Is she charging it? And I'm being honest, all right? I did not see that coming. Oh, crap. A Pietro moment there. I did not see that coming. I'm like, she's doing something to the wall, but I don't know what she's doing. And then you realize she's casting those runes all around it. Okay. That was cool. So she's learning. The idea that she's more powerful than the Sorcerer Supreme, more powerful than this current Sorcerer Supreme, maybe. Maybe. She's not more clever, though. She's not more learned, right? There are plenty of people who have, like Zatanna has in the DC universe, has way more power, natural, innate power from her birth and from her teachings than John Constantine does. But nobody wants to mess with John Constantine. Why? Because he just knows a little bit more than you do, and that's only what he's letting on to. It's the knowledge. When it comes to magic, it's the knowledge, not the power. The power's cute, but it means nothing if you don't have the knowledge with it. And just a little bit of knowledge of the magic can cause you to be more powerful than anything else imaginable. It's the reason why Doctor Strange could have come by and just wiped it all away in a heartbeat, right? He could have undone some spells anyway. So I thought that was kind of cool. The way that, if there was one part of this show that actually disappointed me, and again, I'm going to get to the comments in a few moments. If there was one thing that disappointed me, it was the battle between Monica and Pietro, because that was all of this. The whole thing was just, it was really sad. It was really sad. There was just like this necklace around this choker, this magical choker that, all she had to do was kind of remove it, and then he was free. turns out this was Ralph. It wasn't actually Pietro. It was just Ralph. Okay, well, see, when you think about it that way, doesn't that kind of undo the idea that the X-Men is now canon? Doesn't it? Or is it one of those things where it's like Wonder Woman 1984, where it's like, Steve Trevor's back? Well, not really. You actually just took over this dude's body. And by the way, when you're knocking boots, oh, that dude's knocking boots with you. I'm saying. So Gal Gadot could use my body if she needs to. Okay, I'm just saying. I'm putting that out there. Anyway, this was that was to me that was kind of weak. I expected an actual battle. I was really hoping to look at it as Pietro moves at the speed of sound, but in the comics, just in the comics, Monica Rambeau, the originally she was Captain Marvel, now she's Spectrum. In between there somewhere she was Photon. She has the ability to move at the speed of light. So I thought that could have actually been interesting if, he when he did that boop thing and she was like, I went flying. If she would like, you know what? Boom, sucker. That would have actually been really interesting to see that because she can move way fast. I'm talking much more than 10 times faster than him, That I think that would have actually been really cool, but whatever, it is what it is. Yeah, the ruins of the wall of the hex construct, that was awesome. This and then the punishment that Agatha winds up getting. It's like you're permanently going to stay in the role that you chose because everybody else was accidentally put into role, but you chose the role that you picked, right? That was you. That was you that did that. So now you're going to be in that role. I'll see you later. Not if I see you first. Oh, wow. She actually became the Scarlet Witch. It's one thing to be told that she's a Scarlet Witch. She actually became the Scarlet Witch. It wasn't just the little headdress design that she had magically on there. She actually got a new headdress. She got a new costume. First appearance of the new costume. Holy crap, if this was a comic book, it would be worth something, Agnes. So Agnes is permanently confined to the hex, but the hex is now gone. So I guess that her mind is permanently removed. Well, not removed, but her current will is permanently removed, and she's forced to be this caricature of herself now. It's a weird one, but anyway. By the end, this was actually pretty interesting. And I don't claim to understand what's going on here. We can look at the stuff from the comic books, or we can look at it otherwise. When Elizabeth Olsen, when Scarlet Witch Wanda is standing at the door with Vision, and she looks back to the boys, and it's the last time that we see the boys, not the last time we hear from the boys, but last time that we see the boys. She says, "Thank you for choosing me as your mom." Maybe that's just a mom thing, right? Maybe this is a mom thing because I've seen stuff like that in TV shows before. So maybe it was just, a reference back to that, but it was a really heartbreaking moment. At the same time, it could also be something where it's like, I know a lot of us are going to be thinking it's like, but they're just demons that Mephisto made to look like children. And so they chose to be, maybe. Honestly, I don't know. But it felt like something straight out of a sitcom where you'd say, the mom would say, "Thanks for choosing me as your mom," like you had the choice when you were souls to go anywhere you wanted, but you chose to come here. So it was very, I liked it. You know what I'm saying? It was a very nice moment. Let's see. Okay, so the conditional vision. Vision actually came from her heart, and she actually said that you're a bunch of circuits. The first thing she says, "You're a piece of the mind stone that lives inside of me." She said, "You're a bunch of circuits. You're a bunch of different things, and you're also my love." This was something that I thought about before because yes, she's definitely. When we saw in the previous episode how Vision sprung from her, right? She it came from her chest. Well, that's also where your heart is. Yeah, it's the lungs and stuff like that too. But the heart, we're going to look at the heart. Okay. So, yes, it happened because that's a piece of the Mind Stone, but it's also something it came direct, like Vision sprung up directly from her heart. you know? So I thought that was actually pretty interesting. I dug on that. I liked that. So when she says, like, you're my love, yeah, you're her love personified. The moment where he says, um, we're saying goodbye, but it makes sense since it's happened so many times before that we're going to say hello again. I thought that was great. Now let's focus back to what happened to the White Vision. So with him leaving, he's got his memories back. Remember, there's the ET phone home touch, that thing. He's got his memories back. He says, "I am Vision." Will he come back with the memories intact, but different? Trying to rectify all of that because Wanda's free, he's free. He is free. So there could be that connection again. Who knows? Who knows? So I'm digging on that. That was a really touching moment. You could tell I got a little choked up. I'm cool with it. And then she she undoes everything. Everything is undone, which goes back to earlier in the beginning of the episode when they both decide to fight side by side with each other. Vision and Wanda. They decide to join forces because the typical comic book or whatever trope. It's like, oh, we're going to fight each other, we're going to butt heads, we're going to clash, but then a greater threat comes and we realize that we've got to form up and go back to back and fight. Yes. So I love when stuff like that happens. If it's done right, like a trope could be used 100 billion times, but if it's done right, then it's okay. And that's one of the great parts of storytelling. It's not necessarily the parts that you use, it's how you use them. So I'm not going to get into the whole motion of the ocean thing. It's still no substitute for girth. Anyway, is this monetized? I don't know if this is monetized or not. Anyway, so when she finishes that, all that stuff is finished, she's inside the house again with just the bottom, the base of the foundation and whatnot. And she walks out. She walks out using the entrance exit instead of like hopping over. I guess that's where her car was, whatever. But I literally thought to myself, B, the next time you're going to build a house, get a hammer. Don't just sit there and be like, I'm going to bring all this stuff up. It's a shortcut. It's a shortcut. All right. Get a hammer, hire some people. Okay. Get the rulers and the freaking saw and get to work. Okay. I want to see you hammering some shingles, baby. Hammering some shingles. Then the Westview thing doesn't happen anymore. You know that New Jersey is the #1 state in the United States for construction. It's called the Garden State for a reason. More construction in New Jersey than any place else in the United States. And she had to use magic in New Jersey to build a house. The mafia is infuriated right now. That's all I got to say. Silvermane, Hammerhead, Kingpin, all of them. They're coming out of the woodwork and they pissed at Wanda from this point going forth. I digress. All right. Anyway, 2 after credit scenes at this point because she leaves. She goes and says hi and leaves. So the first after credit scene involves Monica. Yes, my girl. Back off. I saw her first. Anyway, so Taylor, she's sitting there and she's talking in here and talking there. What happened to Darcy? Oh, she says that what was the thing? Debriefings are for the weak. I, that is a Darcy moment. You know what she did? She went out to go get coffee. Because at the end of the day, let's be realistic. I think that the main lesson that we need to learn here is you don't ask people for coffee. You go out and you get your own damn coffee. How does she not come to that place with her own coffee? Right? Anyway, bow. So we see a scroll shows up. I'm sure this is going to piss off a bunch of people because let's be realistic. I love the Captain Marvel movie, but it could have been a whole lot better, right? It was very robotic, it was very dry, and they could have done a whole lot more with it. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I love the movie, could have been better. So whatevs. Anyway, so Monica finds out that Nick Fury is up there. She's definitely not talking about Talos, right? Let's be realistic. Nick Fury's up there on the sword station, and it's like, hey, come on up and see me sometime. So sometimes you gotta learn how to fly. There's a Tom Petty song there somewhere, maybe the Pink Floyd version, whatever. And then we go into the after credit scenes. Technically after credit. And then they go into the different languages with the Dutch and all that stuff. Anyway, so Wanda is hanging out, sitting down, drinking some coffee or tea, whatever. Meanwhile, the teacup is also going off in the background, the kettle, which is really weird. And yes, it was a kettle because I'm watching the sub credits also, the subtitles, and it actually says kettle whistles. But meanwhile, she's drinking tea. Like, whatever. I don't know why that happened. I don't know why. I want a no prize, Marvel. That's what I want. I want Kevin Feige to tell me I get a no prize for noticing. Okay? I wanted a no prize my entire life. God damn it, give me a no prize. Somebody official, give me a no prize. Anyhow, so what's in it? She goes inside to go do whatever, and meanwhile I'm looking at it, it's like she's off all by herself, and she's just sitting down. She's reflecting on the things that she's done. Holy crap! She just became Thanos. Wanda Maximoff just became Thanos. um, that's in the comics and in the movies, by the way. But then we see in another room, Wanda, holy crap, here it comes. Her astral form, which this is really weird, right? Her astral form is, or maybe it's actually her, and the other thing was just some kind of doppelganger to confuse the spy satellites, right? That from back in 1980s. She's reading the Darkhold. Oh, this is so bad. This is so bad. Now we got to learn about what the prophecy of the Scarlet Witch is, because like we don't know what the full prophecy is. And now Doctor Strange is gonna have to deal with this. Like I told you before, 1 or 2 episodes ago, the Darkhold is the exact opposite of the Book of the Vishanti. Now, did we see the Book of the Vishanti in the Doctor Strange movie? Will we see it in part 2? But we know this from the comics. So this is not a good thing. So she's reading the Darkhold in her astral-like form, and all of a sudden what happens? She hears her children, specifically the subtitles said Billy, that it was specifically Billy who said, "Mom, help, please." And that's the end. Wait, what? So Wiccan is still around somewhere, somehow. That makes sense. It makes sense. Because Speed, we hardly ever hear from Speed, right? But Wiccan is a pretty major character. He's like top level B list, maybe top level C list. Anyway, he's up there. All right, low level B, top level C. Let's put it that way. Okay, that he shows up almost all the time. All right. Um, his freaking boyfriend, now husband, shows up in the Empire event just for him to be a background character. Like I don't know why that happens, but anyway, so that's a thing now. Billy is technically back, and he's calling for help from his mom, and of course his mom's like, "Gotta go." So that's interesting. That's interesting. I'm just gonna leave it at that. That's my notes. We good? I'm gonna leave that over there. Now let me get to some of these. Federico Blee hates life. Federico Blee, dude, why do you hate life, bruh? Why do you hate life? We'll be fine. We'll be fine. This COVID stuff will go away, and we'll get all these cool movies. All right, let's go up a little bit and let's see what's been said. What's been said? Because once all the comments are done, I'm out. All right, I'm gonna go to sleep. Thank you. You're welcome. So Wanda is nuts. Yeah, technically, duh. Duh. This episode blew my mind. Silent, I know, right? I'm watching the ending. Also, hiya. Hey, Sue Ann, what's up? God, the ending was so bittersweet. Can't stop crying. Yeah, I got a little choked up myself. Where the hell is Vision? Well, we're gonna find out there, Gus. We gonna find out at some point. I told you that she's a villain. She's not a villain, man. Go listen to my podcast, all right? Go listen to the podcast that I do with Dark Knight Nation and Comic Boom, all right? We do a whole thing where we talk about Wanda. You can't sit there and just say that she's a freaking villain, and guess what? What was with all the Wizard of Oz reference? I know, man, it was. Jimmy Woo's the man. Godfather Media. Looked like Disney solved the crashing problem by releasing episode 9 early. I tuned in episode 9 at 11:50 Pacific time. Son of a gun, you. You son of a gun. Um, Yeah, I don't have the crashing issues. I've got great internet, so maybe I'm crashing you. I apologize. Um, let's see. I thought they were going to phase together and become the whole. See, I was thinking that also. That would have been pretty interesting, right? Becoming the full Vision. But if they would have done that, then what would have happened? There wouldn't have been a Vision now, right? That would have been because the part of her had to go back in, right? Look at Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, casting. Look, Doctor Strange. Okay, I don't know what that is. Turn off your caps and talk decently, and maybe we can understand what you're saying. Ralph Boner. Yeah, right. What exactly is Ralph Boner? Let's see if there's actually something there. Ralph Boner. There is nothing. Nothing. There's a 53rd Speaker of the United Secret Security, whatever, some senator guy. I'm not a fan of politicians, so F them. Anyway, um, see, here's something that's a big question, right? Here's something that didn't really get solved right now. Why did Jimmy Woo show up in the first place, right? Ralph is apparently a nobody who she turned into Pietro. Okay, that was cute, that Agatha turned into Pietro. Cute, but like, what was Ralph? What was the purpose of like the flies and all that stuff, right? And most importantly, why did Jimmy Woo show up in the first episode? Or actually the third episode? Fourth episode. Fourth episode. Why did he show up in the fourth episode? Whatever, when he showed up, what happened? Oh, yeah, that's right. There's a missing person. There's a person who's supposed to be in a witness protection program out there, and he was showing up to see what's up. And it turns out he couldn't get in because of those cops. And there's a really big thing. So who's the person who was in witness protection? We never had that solved. Are we going to find that out in Falcon Winter Soldier? Or where are we going to find this out? Because I don't know. I have no idea, you know? So, yeah, when you kind of leave something hanging like that's a weird thing to do. But anyway, I have not forgotten. Blah, blah, blah. Can't wait to see what's going to happen with the Vision. Earth 616 maybe. Hey, Comic Works. Ending was better of the 8 episodes. I think they were all cool. I think it was all cool, man. Um, hoping for a Doctor Strange cameo. I was also going how okay, everybody's talking to each other. Sorry. Cat Theory is actually pretty cool because comics not one of you. Straczynski's Thor. The cat was dead. Thor's coffin. Was this Straczynski's run where he thought he was acting there was the priest guy who kept on showing up and he was acting like it's like you're not the real god though. That was so annoying. Marked out hard when Agatha said the Darkhold. Exactly. When that was confirmed, that was actually pretty cool. Um, mind you, I know there's a bunch of people just, oh, well, there's, you see the Darkhold. It was in the Runaways also, and it was also in I think it was supposed to be well, it was definitely in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because I watched that. I think it was supposed to be in the freaking Cloak and Dagger, whatever it is. Cloak and Dagger, Runaways, and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. were all Jeff Loeb properties. Jeff Loeb was booted from the MCU. He has zero control. He doesn't really do anything for Marvel now. Last thing he did for Marvel was the not Hellboy. What the hell is he called? Hellstrom. The Damon Hellstrom series, which utterly failed. I mean, how many people have actually watched that? I forgot that it was even out. But anyway, that's the Jeff Loeb universe. It's not a part of the MCU. Kevin Feige has multiple times addressed that. Ever since it was said that Kevin Feige, I'm talking like a decade ago, was given complete overall control of the MCU and all the other little talking heads were suddenly booted from it, Jeff Loeb could sit there saying, I need you to actually incorporate something in the agents, for the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show that I'm doing over there in your Avengers movie or whatever it is that you're doing. All right. You got to incorporate something because, it's all connected. Right. That was the thing that I said. That was Jeff Loeb who actually came out and said that. It wasn't Kevin Feige. It wasn't Jason Favreau. It was Jeff Loeb who came out and he said it's all connected because he had some power then. But he was an a-hole and a racist. Go check out the Comic Book University podcast. I've talked about that extensively. And he was booted from so many different aspects, almost as bad as Joss Whedon was booted from the DC, from everything. You know what I'm saying? He's been straight canceled. But anyway, and deservedly so, apparently. Anyway, the point is that Jeff Loeb was the one saying it's all connected. Guess what? He lied. It is not all connected. The Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. stuff, that stuff did not happen according to Kevin Feige. So according to everything, yeah, Coulson never showed up again. Coulson coming back, he was actually just that. Oh, that was from back in 1992. Yeah, so it's important to understand. It's one thing to just say this. No, the articles are out there, and there's a lot of us who are reading that. You know, what I'm saying I'm one of them, but I'm not the only one. There's a bunch of us reading the articles and relaying this stuff back, doing the interviews and all that stuff. Anyway. I know I'm joking. No, you're not. You're evil. That's what it is, Gray Malkin. I know your real name. Hey, Bill. Love you, bro, but I'm going to go watch Coming to America Part 2 now. I'm not allowed to watch that until my wife gets home. So she's actually at her mom's with the kids. They chilling. No, I'm not in trouble. They're coming back in the morning. I was getting a little bit of a vacation so I can do all this stuff. Anyway, that's why I played video games all day. I'm like, yes! So I'm not allowed to watch that. I'm going to go watch it anyway. Seems like the X-Men aren't coming back in the Fox. No, they're not. People keep on and the goofy corporate comic book reporting sites, you know, like CBR and AIPT and all these other nonsensical sites. These are people who are it's so funny. I don't know if you guys ever seen the TV show Superstore, but like just like what they do in there when they'll gossip with each other and they'll make their own rumors and then they'll turn around and start talking about the rumors like they're real. It's like you just watched yourself make the rumors. That's what I see with these comic book reporting, uh, you know, like CBR and all that stuff. They're corporate run. They're run by big corporations, but they're not micromanaged at all. It's just, you know, okay, yeah, have some fans do some stuff, but they're not really fans. They're not really good at this stuff. They don't even have good grammatical skills. And they literally make you can watch them. They're making up rumors. They're saying, oh, a source, you know, from such and such and such said. No, there's no such thing as a source. A source is someone you name. There's nothing secrecy here. Nobody needs to go into freaking witness protection program from a freaking Hollywood, you know, big budget or low budget film. Like, get over yourself. That's so annoying when I see CBR, AIPT, and these other nonsense freaking newsarama, yeah, craporama. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's like, oh, bleeding cool. It's not reliable. None of them are reliable. None of them. You know, I find my stuff from Hollywood Reporter, from Deadline, from what's the Latin one? GQ Latin, I think it is. Anyway, like there's select few that I actually look to because if it's wrong, it's like, holy crap, they were wrong, as opposed to, oh, okay, so they were wrong again. Yeah, I don't do that. I hate rumors. I hate all that nonsense. Most of these guys are just dunderheads. They don't know what the hell they're doing. They don't know what they're talking about. They can't even freaking spell. So whatever. Anyway, you watch them make up these baloney rumors, just like, you know, what they're saying here. No, the X-Men are not coming back. There's just an article put out today or yesterday technically. Oh, there's a chance that we're going to be seeing this stuff. Meanwhile, Kevin Feige himself, rather than, oh, a source says, with all due respect, F your source. F your source. Because Kevin Feige himself just said 4, technically 5 now, days ago, I have no plans of putting the X-Men in a movie anytime soon. Not in a TV show, not in anywhere. So, no, it's not true. Don't pay attention to those nonsensical sources. If people cannot tell you where their sources come from, then they are lying. It's as simple as that. Like I don't even want to get into it anymore. It's actually frustrating to see that stuff. People just lying for the sake of generating a little buzz around an article. Look, I got a whole bunch of hits on my article. I'll give you a hit, moron. Anyway, um, let's see. Seems like Vision is back to some capacity. Proper Vision was able to recover his memories. You got that right. That finale was awesome. I thought so. So Flow Entertainment. I didn't catch that. What didn't you catch? No more twins, I suppose. Well, no, 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 no. Oh, whoa, Udius, you didn't see the after credits scene because there's two of them. There's the mid credits and the after credits. Corey, you did not see her first. I saw her first, and I'm bigger than you. Um, anyway, I'm gonna go back to the days where we fight over a woman. Hello, Dean. How you doing? Hey, Raven. What's going on, brother? How you doing, man? Can we talk about White Vision, where he went? Holy crap. Yes, Lauren, we absolutely can. In fact, we did. I think you were here for that. Pre-theme, honestly, wasn't disappointed. All these YouTubers like Cosmic Wonder hyped it up. Cosmic Wonder, yeah, whatever. It is what it is. Yeah, the people who just hype this stuff up, it makes no sense to me. Why not just watch the episode? What did you think about the CGI of this episode? Great question, Jonah Roth. I actually thought it was really good. Like when you think about how low budget television shows are as opposed to the movies, this was fantastic. Like I'm not used to seeing stuff like this. You know what this actually reminds me of? As far as a TV show, something I'd have to compare this to? I'd have to compare this to and now I can't remember what it's freaking called. The Fringe. I'd have to compare this to the Fringe. I think there were 6 seasons of that. Absolutely amazing television show, man. Holy crap. You want to talk about time travel and altered dimensions and stuff like that? That was an amazing television series. And the special effects in that were fantastic also. So yeah, I would have to compare this to that. Wow. Wow. I think these graphics are going to hold up for a while too. Successive grief and lots would make anyone nuts. His vision in his normal colors, no, but he could get a paint job. You know, maybe some hot rod red. Remember, what's his name? Tony Stark said that in the first movie. I think Wanda was hearing her kids from another multiverse. That is a possibility. That's how Spider-Man being a it's a good possibility. There is, like I said, we have to go by what we know. All right, so Kevin Feige's, zip like that, but we do know there's going to be Doctor Strange. Like Doctor Strange was just mentioned here, the Sorcerer Supreme. So boom, and the next Doctor Strange movie that's supposed to come out, Part 2, the Multiverse of Madness, and we know there's going to be some multiverse spanning stuff in the Spider-Man movie also. So we don't know. We don't know. As of right now, again, Comic Book University podcast, the Comic Book University podcast. It drops every Sunday morning. All right. Usually, almost all the time before 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's New York, Toronto time. What do you call it? I talk about all this stuff. Just in the previous episode, I talked about how there's already plans for a second season of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Loki has already been cleared and filmed the second season of Loki. So there's no question. There's still a question on Falcon Winter Soldier, but there's no question on Loki. That is definitely getting a season 2. She-Hulk will probably get a season 2 because just the way that it's being designed. There's a whole bunch of them, but WandaVision is the one where they said specifically, pointedly, there are 0 plans to make a second season of WandaVision. So yeah. And I gave the source, whatever the source was that I got it from there. The updated cast for Multiverse of Madness is his point, I believe. Cool. The guy above that, yeah. That'd be cool. I'll check that out. Who was the missing person Jimmy Woo was talking about in episode 5? Exactly, Sanimation. That's what I was talking about. Like, who was the guy, the missing person, the guy who was in police protection, right? Witness protection. Ralph Boner is a mock from Marvel Studios of how he left us with his poetry thing. Left us with nothing but a boner. I love you, man. And he hates life again. Where's the beehive person? Yeah, that was a really weird thing because that's a case of Chekhov's gun not working, Jimmy.
like there was the big thing, like it was a part of the previews. We saw the beekeeper, and of course, all of us, myself included, we got caught up and we're like, "Oh, Hydra! It must be Hydra because a beekeeper, right?" Well, no, we were wrong. That was one of the cases where I kind of hyped myself up, a little bit on that. It was a small thing, but still, I admit when I do something a little bit boneheaded, when I pull a boner, all right, like the Joker. Anyway, yeah, when he came through the sewers and he came up, he just wanted becoming one of the guys. I think he actually wanted becoming the mailman at some point because even towards the end, he's like, "Hey, don't be mad at me. Don't shoot the messenger. Don't shoot me. I'm just the messenger." Right? I think that was that guy. I think that's what it was. It was at night. We couldn't see him, fully, but I think that was the guy because I don't remember seeing the mailman, the delivery guy, before all of that. Anyway, um, that is one of those things where it's like, why make a big deal? Why show that in the previews, in the trailers, if it's not actually going to go anywhere? So there's another one. I think it's Ralph. Ralph. You'll shoot your eye out, Ralphie. They're never going to answer every single little question. No, you're right, Frank, but at the same time, don't pose a question if you're not going to answer it. Case in point, the thing I was just talking about. Gus Rodriguez. I thought WandaVision would impart the personality, etc., into White Vision, not go away and Vision disappeared, restoring him fully. Well, exactly. But if that did happen, then there would be less of a story for later. I'll tell you what, honestly, Vision leaving, that version of the Vision leaving, I'm the real Vision leaving. What does that mean? There actually is a chance for a WandaVision season 2, right? So I ain't mad. They literally brought my boy Evan Peters in to make a boner joke, right? I meant Pietro, no poetry. Oh, crap. Now let me go back up. Ralph Boner's a mock of Marvel Studios of how they left us with this Pietro thing. They left us with nothing but a boner. Okay, I can see that. I could see that. Um, what happened to White? Yep. You got yeeted. Hey, Professor Bill. What's up, Joe Fisher? You think the mountain at the end was high evolution? No. I'm not gonna. No. I'm not gonna get into that speculation stuff. We just talked about all that good stuff. Not building myself up. Okay, Sai. The mystery man was very disappointed. Who is the rabbit? Don't you remember from the Matrix movie, the White Rabbit? Follow the White Rabbit. Why did Marcy show up? I don't like her. Marcy. Marcy's Playground? Okay, Sai, thank you for giving your point. You are ignored. Best part for me was episode 8 and 9 that delved into the Salem witches. That was cool. I guess that was like the original, the nod to the original Salem 7 in the Fantastic Four comics. That's just me. I think Raven took care of him. Thank you, Raven. You are freaking epic. It was Straczynski's Thor, and he was dying, using too much of his power. He needed to use the Odin sleep of the magic. Yes. Okay, I do remember that. Yep. Cat theory, leave or die. Lived in the coffin. Didn't the cops say in episode 4, outside of Westview, that Westview? Yes, it didn't exist. That it was actually Eastview. Yeah, because their perceptions were altered. Also, they never went into the place. They never actually went into Westview or Eastview in that particular case. They turned around. Remember, they drove and they turned around and they left. So if you're not in, you have the inclination to not go in. It's telling you don't go in, right? Which I guess says a lot about the willpower of Monica Rambeau. She's the only one who is like, I'm going in anyway, right? Here's the thing: why would Feige bring back the Fox X-Men? They were bad. They were bad. It was bad. There was more bad than good. There was some good. Everything has some good. In all honesty, not pissed, a little let down, but it's a TV show. Guess it was okay. Yeah, again, Redneck Trekker, I just think that we overhyped it a little bit too much. Robert Snyder, Scrolls is spelled with a K, not with a C. You're booted. I'm joking. You're not booted. Trying to find some funny at freaking 4:38 in the AM for me. I was really hoping Dottie Jones was secretly Arcana Jones. Hey, don't forget the Variety periodical. Gabriel. What about Elizabeth Olsen saying at least some kind of cameo? Is White Vision a cameo? I don't remember Elizabeth Olsen saying that. I remember Paul Bettany saying that, and he was referring to himself. Professor Bill, my PS4 messed didn't see. I typed the mountain at the end. Evolution's Mount Wondagore. Yeah, I know Mount Wondagore. I figured that's what you meant. You said high evolutionary. You said the mountain. I figured it's Mount Wondagore. Wanda turns Agatha back into her TV character, but then removes the hex. I'm confused. Yeah, I am also. But then again, when we refer back to what was it? The police from Eastview, right? They weren't actually in the hex, but they were still affected, right? So their minds were altered to think that there is no Westview, even though Wu and Rambeau are looking at the sign that says "Welcome to Westview." They're standing right in front of us saying, "There is no Westview. We're from Eastview." You know, so if people can be affected outside the hex, boop, right back there also. And we saw that her magic was absorbed. It's not just that, boom, whatever. She actually took the magic from her, or just changed her mind. You know what I'm saying? Like she's permanently screwed. She's boned. She is boned. Someone please explain the alien in the theater. I'm lost. No problem there, Justin. Watch Captain Marvel. Watch that movie. You will understand everything in its entirety. No need for further explanations. Could have brought the DC copycats and brought Mark Cavill into MCU. Henry Cavill? At least, hey, what's up, Comics on the Mind? How you doing? I was just in your thing, and now you are here as well. Watch the after credit. Yep, there's two. There's two. There's the in between, and then the after. Watch Captain Marvel. Oh, see, Todd's pointing out. Watch Captain Marvel. Vision unlocked the White Vision's memories. We'll see him again. Yes, I believe that we will, Erica. I hope we will. We must. We must. Damn it, he's worthy. He picked up the hammer, but it's no different than putting the hammer on an elevator and it goes up. But the point is, right? That Disney money, baby. Kevin would be like, that's the future of Kevin's. That's future Kevin's problem. Stan Lee would be so proud. I think that he would. I honestly think he would. CGI was fire. I have no question. I have more questions now than I did going in. I think that's the point. I think it's the point with a show like this. White Vision's going to get to a doctor. Thank you. Definitely watching Captain Marvel. Hulk in hindsight. Hulk. I don't think her reading the Darkhold is a good idea. It's funny. Neither do I. Didn't even give us mutants. We were promised, we were told with authority from Kevin Feige himself that we will not be getting mutants. Like, again, Comic Book University podcast, I pointed out, minimum 5 to 7 years. It's already been stated, no mutants for 5 to 7 years minimum, because that's how far they look into the future, so to speak, when they're actually building this stuff. No mutants. Anybody who thought there were going to be mutants was not watching this podcast or was not watching this live stream. Or listen to the Comic Book University podcast. Greetings, Professor from Montreal. Hey, what's going on? Now say it in French, damn it. Nothing wrong with the show, actually, just our expectations built up for it. Agreed. What about Senora Scratchy? Senora Scratchy was supposed to be Mr. Scratch. What the hell was his name? Nicholas Scratch, which is one of the names of Satan. So that's one of the things that confused a lot of people. Nicholas Scratch is actually the son of Agatha Harkness. So in the comic books, right, in the Fantastic Four comic books, that was her son, and he was in charge of the Salem 7 to come after the Fantastic Four and Agatha and even the Scarlet Witch, on occasion. Anyway, it was like a reference that Mr. Scratchy is just her cat. So Was it actually her son? I don't know, but whatever. It's just one of those little eggs for those of us who read the comic book, so we can be like, Agatha has a cat named Mr. Scratchy. That's perfect, right? That's all that was. That was for us. That was just for us. At the end, do you see Wanda doing spells and magic and Billy and Tommy? Well, I didn't see Tommy screaming, but I did see Billy screaming. Let me actually go back and look at the scene really quick. Right here. Okay, go back, go further. You fool. Okay, looking at the Darkhold. Yep. Oh no, it is Billy and Tommy. Okay, my bad. My bad. It is Billy and Tommy. So both of them scream, one right after the other. So yeah, Billy and Tommy are still out there someplace, and we know that Vision is out there someplace. So boom, we good. Um, in Spanish. Do you think Ralph was a mutant? Maybe no. There was no mutants. Which was your favorite episode? That's us. That's honestly a good question. I'm going to say the first three episodes were actually my favorite episodes, specifically the first two, because for me, I look at it as I would love for there to be another season, just season zero, where they just have like 40 episodes of Wanda and Vision just in the old school and black and white and just doing the little sitcom Mary Tyler Moore show and Dick Van Dyke show stuff because I really had fun watching those. You know, it's funny. Like, I'm not here to insult anybody who didn't watch those or couldn't watch those or was like, "Oh, this is what the show's going to be like. This sucks. I'm out." You're entitled to you're 100% entitled to feel that way. Then the show changed and it brought a bunch of people back because we're all saying, no, that changed, right? So it's cool. Everybody's allowed to like what they want to like and dislike what they don't want to like. Nobody should feel shamed and nobody should try and shame people for not liking something, you know? But for me, I actually did like those. So, you know, I'd love to just go back and see them. But realistically, the whole thing is going to play like a what do you call it? Like a clock. You know what I'm saying? When you think about it, you clock it just keeps on doing the same thing over and over and over again, right? And yet we keep on looking at it because it's important. I think it's going to play similar to a clock. We're going to want to see this again. The rewatchability of this season is just it's off the charts. We're going to want to go back and see all those little things that we missed, right? Anyway, um, wee boy would bulge your eyes out. I don't blame you. I was getting a little choked up when I was reading this. No tears actually fell, but they could have at any moment. They could have because it was a really emotional episode. Depending on the where future MCU films go, WandaVision end up looking better, maybe worse once the MCU stuff drops. I think this is a great way to go right now, dude. We're getting the making of WandaVision next Friday, and then the Friday after that, the very first episode of Falcon Winter Soldier. After that's finished, we're going to start getting Loki coming in. I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? I don't need the movie theaters open. When the movie theaters finally open, I get to see my Black Widow. I get to see my Eternals. You know what I'm saying? I get to see all these shows that I want to watch, you know, like Spider-Man and whatnot and Doctor Strange. But for now, I'm just good with this. I am so good with just sitting back and watching the MCU here, right? We as the audience way overhyped WandaVision. You're right. It was the first MCU thing we got in 2 years, and it's the first MCU television show that we got, you know? So very different from again, very different from the Loeb verse that we had with the all the Netflix series. That was all Jeff Loeb. With the Agents of Shield, Jeff Loeb. With all the stuff that came on Hulu, Jeff Loeb. All of that stuff was Jeff Loeb, right? This is the first time the MCU is in television format or streaming format, you know, and episodic. Let's look at that way. It's episodic. This is the first time the MCU, which is Kevin Feige, that's the first time. So, hey, Zack Attack, I answered that before by saying I have no idea. I have no idea who Cliff is. Agatha is under her own individual spell that isn't tied to the hex. Um, want Monica. Yeah, I wanted Monica to have the fight scene too. That's what I'm saying. That would have been great. Do Monica was an X-ray. I don't know that she was an X-ray, but she was something that definitely killed the kinetic energy of the bullet. So, Mr. Mando. Expectation. Well, here's the thing, Mr. Mando. They can't anticipate it after it's already finished. You get what I'm saying? It's like if they finished all of the episodes and then they start putting them out, and suddenly, like the hype and all that stuff didn't start until episode 4, right? The first 3 episodes, most people were just like, who cares? But with episode 4, that's when all of a sudden people are like, holy crap! And people started coming up with theories. It's like, dude, they only had, 4 more episodes after that? 5. 5 more episodes after that. And they were filmed and done. So it's not about, it's not about they should have expected. There's nothing to anticipate. They made a television show and they put it out. We overhyped it. That's just the way I look at it. Dylan, what's up, Dylan? Just finished. Better credits leading into Doctor Strange 2. Agreed. 100% agreed. Dylan's probably not here anymore because he shows up for only like 10 seconds. I invited you onto the show a couple weeks ago and you just disappeared. Anyway, it's all good. What's going on, brother? How you doing, man? Bow. I was thinking maybe she's on her way to Doctor Strange at the end. Yeah, she probably is. She's going to need his help. Marvel just stole 8 weeks of my life. Horrible ending. Lied to us every step of the way. I didn't see any lies. But, again, you're entitled to feel how you want to feel. I was hoping the Reed Richards thing, too early for that. Way too early for that. We've got to manage our own expectations, but at the same time, we've also got to stay, attuned to what's going on. This is not an insult when I say this. It's generally not. Please understand, it's not. I am honestly, genuinely surprised when people get invested in a show, but they don't look at the news of it. Like, to me, that's always weird. But I know that's my researching mind. I'm always used to the idea of doing research and background checks and stuff like that. Like, that's what I do. Every time I have a new teacher, like, I follow them on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to know what's going on behind the scenes. I want to have an idea of what to expect to relegate my own expectations. So when I see them, what was it? Just 2 weeks ago, they finally hired a writer to write the Fantastic Four. It never crossed my mind that, but maybe they got Krasinski or whoever. Like, I don't know where that stuff is coming from. Maybe he is going to play the role. I don't know. Maybe Jennifer Lawrence is going to play Miss Fantastic, the Invisible Woman, Susan Storm. You know what I'm saying? Maybe. I don't know. But I do know that they just finally hired a writer 2 weeks ago. So I had zero expectations that was going to happen. Answered that. Absolutely love the sweatshirt, my man. Oh, well, the sweatshirt actually gets even better. First off, there's a camouflage Spidey underneath, and then the sweater actually goes up, and I can actually turn it into full-on Venom. It actually does go all the way up, but the cord is here. Anyway, yeah. Boop, does the full thing, and I can actually see through it. So, yeah, it is a fun one. I love this one. I knew there had to be 2 end credit scenes. Yes, had to have been. Just scroll through, look at it. White Vision went to Doctor Strange for Wanda. Be interesting if he knew to go to Doctor Strange, but that would be good. Hey, Vincent, thank you for the super chat. Where do you think Wanda is leaving to? Well, boom. I'm hoping that looking at what's coming in the future, I do believe that she's probably going to be going to see Doctor Strange. She's going to recognize this is a little bit out of her depth. Oh my God. And then she's going to go there. And it might wind up being that he winds up saying something like, give me the freaking the Necronomicon. Mind you, the the Darkhold is the Marvel version of the Necronomicon. It was always meant to be the Marvel version of the Necronomicon. Go back 2 episodes ago where I actually go into detailed explanation about the history of the Darkhold and the history of the Marvel universe in using Howard Philip Lovecraft, H.P. Lovecraft's and Robert E. Howard's Conan stuff, all the Cthulhian mythos, but Marvelized. Favorite magic. My favorite equals magic trick episode. The second episode, it was really great. Throw it back to Wanda. Did that? You're right. Transferred his memories. I don't think he transferred his memories. He might have transferred his memories, but he definitely he unblocked them. They pointed out they can't. Yeah, they can't change anything. They just blocked it. So whether he released it or transferred his memories, I think he just whatever it is, it all comes to the same. And Jacqueline Parker saying the same thing I'm saying. When are we getting Fantastic Four that seems more realistic? It's way more realistic, Justin Corona, than the X-Men. They are doing the Fantastic Four. They are not doing the mutants anytime soon. Fake Vision reactivated White Vision's memories. Always see. Connection to Sword, Captain Marvel 2. Coming back to the show again. Can there be a season 2? There could very well be. I talked about it. Trying not to go back and redo the things that I already said. Vincent again. Hey, what's up, Vincent? Agatha opened the Darkhold. It had Scarlet Witch on there as being so evil and is higher than the highest witch back in the 1600s. Yes. This could actually mean a lot of things. There's a lot of ways to interpret that. For me, I look at it as, remember, there's a prophecy. We never really got the full prophecy, and that's what's important to really look at here. What is the prophecy, right? Every time that they talk about a prophecy at some point or another, it's one thing to say, oh, there's a prophecy. Okay, so what does that mean? Even with that's one of the things they didn't like about the original, or not the original, the Star Wars prequels, is they talked about the prophecy of the one that will bind everybody. Okay, could I actually see what the prophecy is? Because the best storytelling is the kind that actually gives us something to try and interpret. And it's just a clever enough riddle that the vast majority of us won't actually get it. You know what I'm saying? It's the weakest form of storytelling to talk about a prophecy, but we never actually get to see the prophecy, you know? So we never got the prophecy in this. Maybe she's trying to see what the prophecy is. In the meantime, if she does go to Doctor Strange, then yes, I'm sure that he would be able to recognize the prophecy immediately. And yes, I do believe that that is where the gate to nightmare will wind up coming into play. It's a good possibility. Remember, they kept on saying, "We see your nightmares," right? Once they said that, I was like, "Oh, that could be a possibility." Keyword, right? There's a keyword spoken. And that should answer Krebsy's question. Am I towards the bottom? Anything about Wanda enhance her powers with the Mind Stone? Yes, she 100% did. Talked about it last time. Basically been screwing with herself. Yes, she has. Oh, Dylan's still here. What's going on, Dylan? Well, as of the time I read that. Anyway, not disappointed with WandaVision, and it ended exactly as I expected. Yeah, I would have liked to see a cool cameo at the end, but whatever. I ain't mad at it. Where is the White Vision? You could just ask once. From what I'm seeing in this chat, no matter what, people are going to be upset. We all have expectations. We're allowed to have our expectations. It's cool there, Jimmy. It's cool, Jimmy. Do you think the post-credit scene was Wondagore Mountain? Answer that above. Just glad to catch this series finally. Always got to catch it. Wake up right at the end of the stream. I hear you, man. Actually, I keep on forgetting it's not Saturday. Y'all need to stop following CBR and Cosmic Book News. Yeah, all of that stuff, man. It's just painful. Okay, let me. I actually am almost to the bottom. WandaVision was great. Don't expect something else. Whole stream. Hoodie zipped up. It'd be hard to read all of this here. Plus, I can't have this thing on then. Be muffled. Heading out. I'm heading out too, Jimmy. Disappointed about Quicksilver. I can't blame you at all, Royce, because yeah, there really should have been more with Quicksilver. There should have been a fight, for crying out loud. Like, why did he show up at the end? Like the end of the after credit scene from 2 episodes ago, he shows up. We saw nothing of him in the previous episode, and in this episode, it's like, I'm going to stop you being here. Oh, look, finger pluck, and that's it. And oh no, you took away my purple magical necklace that obviously came from Agatha. There could have been something else there. Don't know what that means, Eddie. Can we look at the scene in 359, please? Wanda leaves Westwood, but somebody else is coming to town. She turns around and looks confused. 39:45. Sure. Let's take a look at 39:45. Yeah, man. Yeah. Maybe she was confused. Yeah, a car was driving in. They didn't even show the car in the background. So it's a possibility. But I didn't think she was looking back being confused. I thought she was taking one last look back. That's the way I looked at it, you know? Like when you get over something or you're trying to get over something, you walk away, but you always get that one last look back. Just be like, this is the last time I'm going to see this. I'm done. You know what I'm saying? I think we've all done this with like an ex. You know what I'm saying? You get that one last look and then you're just like, I'm resolved. I'm good. Let's go. You know? So I think that's a lot of what that was supposed to be. But good pointing out, because yeah, that could have been something that made me go back. I think one of my yes, it's a good possibility, Cody. Do you think Loki can be a tie-in with Doctor Strange? Yeah, all this stuff is stuff that I'd answered. I don't want to keep saying, yeah, sorry. I do want to get to all the questions and I want to get to all the people, but I have to make the balance. Sorry. Get a lot of people living here. Can't wait for Falcon Winter Soldier. Yeah, same. It's going to be hard to top WandaVision. Possibly. Possibly, because it's going to have a lot more. Remember, this was more like a separate entity from the MCU. Meanwhile, Falcon Winter Soldier, think about that. I'm going to do the same thing for Falcon Winter Soldier. I'm going to be up, I'm going to watch them, and I'm going to talk about them like crazy. Because that's going to be more focused on the MCU proper. So all the crazy stuff is going to happen. There's going to be a bunch of new stuff showing up, bunch of old stuff coming up, and it's going to lead into a lot more other shows. Case in point, I don't remember, so don't quote me. Unless I'm right, then quote me all day. But just remember that I said that this might be the case where Don Cheadle is actually supposed to show up at some point in the show. War Machine, right? So Rhodey. And if he does, they're doing the Armor Wars television show also. So that's going to be War Machine focused. I'm seriously looking forward to that because I loved the comic book. For crying out loud, I hung out with the creator of that comic book, the comic book series. Excuse me, storyline. I should say story arc. Hey, another one. Vincent. Vincent again. Is Magneto still in the picture? I need more of an explanation on that one. Magneto he's in another part of the multiverse. All of them are just in a different part of the multiverse. Breaks, madness can mean so many different things. Agreed. The episode was just too fast, should have been longer. I know. I agree. It did fall short. Here's one of the things I talk about in the Comic Book University podcast is that Kevin Feige talked about the magic number. All right. The magic number for these television series for him is 6 hours. So this should include, or excuse me, this will not include the credits, but it will include after credits, and post credits, all that good stuff, whatever. Mid credits, excuse me. After credits and post credits actually means the same thing. Go figure. So mid credits and post credits. They have the watch time of the actual show, all of the episodes in the season together should equal to approximately 6 hours. That's one of the things that he said. And he's going to try and make it so that all of them hit on about that mark. But he admits that he fell short with WandaVision. So I forget how long. There was I think he might have given a number. I forget what the number was. Wasn't that important to me. But that's the key thing to remember is that he says that the magic number is 6 hours. So, but with this falling short, yes, that's probably why it did feel that way. Bow. So the cameo was the Skrull. No, the cameo was Vision. The cameo was White Vision. Paul Bettany acknowledged that he really screwed up. He didn't realize that the fans were going to be so interested. New Debris series, the new Fringe. It's funny that I just mentioned that, Raven. What happened to the White Vision? Oh, talked about it. Sorry, Ed Brewer. What's going on? I remember 26 episode seasons. Right? Remember that back in the day? Still think Andrew and Toby appear for No Way Home. You never trust anything that what's his name? The new Spider-Man says. I know his name. I can't remember it right now. But anyway, yeah, him. Oh, never trust anything that he says. What does the mid-credit spoiler about Tannhauser Gate imply? I don't know. I didn't even see the gate. But anyway, all right, guys, we've reached the end. This showing has gone on longer than the actual episode itself, so I am definitely out of here. And yeah, I'm not tired, so I'm probably going to watch Coming to America Part 2. Wesley Snipes is in the picture, baby. I'm Dr. Wesley Snipes. Anyway, so I will talk to you guys later. I am not going to do a freaking episode review or movie review for that, but go and check that out. It's a possibility, Theon. All right, I'll talk. Tom Holland, thank you, Christine. I appreciate that. All right, love and peace. Talk to all you guys later. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.